right, now it's time to get serious. Now it's time for the rules. We don't need this anymore. Okay, we don't have a lot of first-time attendees, so we can go through this as painfully slow as every year we've done for the last 25 years. Here we go. Everybody, did you get a copy of the rules? All right, they are actually the same rules since 2013 with a few minor exceptions and changes. But just to be detailed, we will go through all of it. All right, so any stock team, meaning non-great team of the past, I'm sorry.
I didn't say anything.
Any stock team, non-great team of the past from 1930 through the 2024 season is eligible, except 2020. Typically, we read through all the ineligible teams, the past tournament champions. It's on this packet. It's also on the Wikipedia page and the website, I assume. So please just go there. It's a very long list at this point, and in the interest of time, we should move to the more pertinent rules. Roster size. If you haven't filled out your roster sheet already, we have the sheets up here. It is a 20-man roster size with the fielding positions, the fielding grades, and your 3-man rotation. It's really just for if there are disputes. It doesn't have to be perfect, handwriting neat. It's really just if there is a dispute about if you're using an eligible or ineligible player. And all the time I've been here, I've never one time seen us have to go check a roster sheet. It's really more about making sure we have it in so that John can put all the divisions together before he has to go to bed at 9:30. So just please, when I'm done up here, we're going to do something else after that. And then after that, if you could please make sure you have your roster sheet in. We've got just about 60 in there right now, and I think there's probably more than 60 people playing. So if you could please, if you haven't done so already, make sure you get that in. Okay, tomorrow morning when you come in, there's going to be pieces of paper all around the room. Those pieces of paper will be set around 2 to 3 tables, most likely 2. That's going to be your division's setup. Considering we're at about 60, and every year we do 8 divisions, there's probably going to be about 7 or 8 guys in your division. And that means 2 to 4 to a table. We got it all figured out, right? We're all doing that math. Find your...
It's going to be an odd or an even number.
An even number of what?
So it won't be 7.
6 or 8 people.
Good point, Steve.
That is a good point.
Got you.
The main point is don't go to tables further away from your division. Keep it simple. Be in front of your division standings. There's going to be one division captain that's going to be predetermined by John. It'll just be whoever he seems to know the best out of that group, all right? And he's going to circle that name.
I also do accept bribes if you really want to be the captain.
We don't want to be the captain.
You accept bribes to not be the captain?
Cash tonight.
Oh my God.
Being the captain is exceptionally easy. All you have to do is mark if a team won or lost or tied. To make this even easier on your division captain, do not write which team you are playing with on your score sheet. Write your name on the score sheet, okay? So my name is Brian Wells from earlier, and you're gonna write, I'm gonna write Brian Wells, and I'm also gonna write my opponent's name when I keep score. If you would like to keep your score sheets, you should tell your opponent that ahead of time so they know they're dealing with a wacko. That's a joke. I'm just kidding. That's a joke. A lot of people do it, all right? I'm just kidding. The thing is, if you're going to keep it, you have to turn it into the division captain, right? Because we have to keep the whole stack to make sure we can track tiebreakers. At the end of the tournament, you can go back through and take your score sheets. One time I got a package in the mail and it was Priority Express. And I was like, that is an important pack. I really was excited. Now my packages go to a secure package room in my parking garage. I had to get a special code. I honestly was so excited all day to find out what this package was. And it was like John mailed me one of the score sheets from my fucking tournament game.
The score sheet you wanted.
Yeah, but I remember winning. I wasn't like, oh.
You asked me to send that to you.
It wasn't national treasure. Anyway, the story's not funny if I say I told you to do it.
Why would we do it otherwise?
Can you get through here?
Billy, you right back there?
I think he wants to come up here.
Do you want to come sit up here?
I can. No, he'll sit here.
You're just as bad from there.
Steve. Oh.
Tebow, you can sit in my chair.
I'll be able to stay.
Where was I? All right, we covered division captains. The point is, we do wins and losses. Obviously, we also do ties. You are going to play 10 full innings. No ghost runners, no replacement pitchers. We used to do that. Now we play 10 innings. After the 10th inning, if you're still tied, that's a tie. Okay? We do a point system. It's 3 points for a win and 1 point for a tie. Right?
Yes, sure.
Yes.
3 points for a win, 1 point for a tie. If you are the division captain, you should have 3 columns: win, loss, tie, points.
That's good.
That's 30 lines.
Guys, I'm doing the presentation. You choose which of those you rule out.
Were you a math major, Brian?
There's going to be another column that's already written, which is the team names. There's 5 total columns. All right. Please use tallies, not numbers. That's another one. People will like 4 and then they have to cross it out. That's a stupid way to do it. Okay. Now to the real rules. Yes.
Please make sure when you hand the sheet, hand it to the table head. Do not go mark on the tally sheet.
Yeah, don't do it yourself.
Because then everything gets screwed up and we gotta go back, stop and go back through them all to get it right. Hand it to the table head, they will take care of it.
Yeah, and then that would help us stand with the
All right. I keep doing that. It's my new thing.
I noticed.
That's my new thing. 3-man rotation. So your pitcher has to go through 5 innings or to the 5th inning. Yeah, they pitch 5 innings unless there is a legitimate baseball reason. We don't have a definition for that. The point is, you know when you're just being a jerk by having a pitcher go for 2 innings and then taking them out to throw all your relievers. You can't do that, okay? The other thing is, you have to make sure you have enough pitching for 10 innings. Even if you don't expect the game to go 10 innings, it could. So you always need to make sure that you have a pitcher ready for that 10th inning. Again, after the 10th it's a tie, you don't have to worry about that. But if you get to the 10th inning and you've run out of pitchers, it's not, hey, what if I just say it's a D? No, you lose. The game is over. You lost. You should have remembered what I said for the last few years, which is have a pitcher for the 10th inning. The most confusing rule that we offer is the long and short relief rule. This one is hard to understand. Short relievers have an asterisk. Long relievers don't and are not in your rotation. You can only use the long reliever 1 time through the rotation. That is not through opponent. That is through your 3-man rotation. Are the hand gestures helping?
Yes, that is very helpful.
That was for Bill. That's why I asked him. So, if you bring in your long reliever when your number 1 starter is pitching, you probably lost that game. And you can't use your long reliever in the 2nd or 3rd starters' games, but you can by the time your ace comes back up again. I think what makes the rule so confusing is that I'm not good at explaining it. Short relievers with an asterisk can be thrown for 1 inning, 3 outs. That's it. Unless you bring them in for an out and then they get a double play. Let's everybody gets it. 3 innings, 1 inning, or 3 outs, 1 inning. Any game throughout the whole stretch.
Or every game.
Every game. Every game is a better way to put it. Thank you, John. Did I cover that? Yeah. Split grades. You have to announce what your pitcher is. This is good. This is where it gets confusing too. You cannot use your split grade pitcher as a long reliever in your game 1 starter and then as a short reliever for game 2 and 3. It's honor system. Just come on. Okay. Offense. We have a universal DH. We have had disputes if the dice isn't like perfectly rolled, it's stuck in the crack. Just re-roll it. I don't care about that one. These are rules that have come up in the past that people have come to me. If there's an intentional walk, people have asked, should the person have to roll the dice when they declared intentional walk to see what it could have been? No. Honestly, I like the roll. I like it. I'm the one who was arguing, all right? You guys are laughing at me. Take it easy. Okay. Pitchers never bat. I feel like I usually get arguments on this one, and it's like pitchers are sometimes allowed to, but they're not allowed to bat. That's correct, right?
Right.
All right. We do this once a year. If I was going to all the regionals, I would know all the rules.
We do it every year. Let's show that.
Yeah, you do it every year. Pitchers may pinch run and potentially defensive sub, but never bat. You can't remove a player from your lineup at any point, even to pinch hit or pinch run, if you don't have the defense to back them up. We do have tiebreakers, which would be head-to-head, and then run differential in your head-to-head, followed by run differential for the entire tournament, which is why we need to keep the score sheets. If it really comes down to it, you can play a quick game against each other, flip a coin, run a 100-meter dash in the parking lot, whatever works.
I got a question, Brian. A legitimate question.
Yes.
If my second baseman is supposed to come up in the bottom of the 10th.
Yep.
Can I pinch hit for him even though I don't have a player to play in the 11th?
Yeah.
Because there is no.
Yeah, that's fair. All right, 10th inning, if you know you're not going to go past the 11th inning, yeah, you can pinch hit, you can do whatever you want.
That's only the home team that would be able to do that. Though.
That's right.
The team cannot do that.
Yes. That's why it's important to win that dice roll when you roll for home.
That's right.
All right, I do have a few more things here, just almost done. Any disputes, you guys can come to me. I'll be sitting with my division. Definitely, anytime, even if I'm in the middle of a game, I don't care. I can play the game and have a conversation at the same time. Which brings me to my first house rule that I bring up all the time. Pace of play. Nobody has an issue with friendly conversation and enjoying yourself during the tournament, but do the best you can to keep things moving because we do have we can't be here all month, right? We have to get out of here at some point. How did this get in my hand? So, obviously lunch is in the middle of the day. Basic rule, you try to get 4, 5, or 6 games in by lunch, so that way the whole division gets moving. Typically what happens is the schedule is going to be posted up in the front. So your division standings are going to have numbers next to your name. That number is not just the number ordering system, that's for the schedule. So if I go to the standings and I see number 3, Brian Wells, that means on the schedule, if it says 3 plays 8 in round 1, I go back to the standings and I find team 8, that's who my opponent is. Okay, I never really cover that, and I think it does get confusing in the morning. So that's the schedule. The first few opponents that you play are most likely going to be 2 games at a time. Everybody else is then 1 game, and that's where it gets slow. So if you come in and you knock out those 2-game sets early on before lunch, everything just flows a lot easier. Because ultimately we try to start and finish the quarterfinals tonight before guys all have to go out to dinner, okay? So that's just do the best you can with that. It's not a hard and fast rule. I already covered if you run out of pictures. Did I already cover no crying? No crying. All right? The thing is, I put so much effort into the fake rules that I forget all the real rules, you know? As we all know, we all remember the stories. No dolls. Don't ask people to take pictures with the doll that you brought. Don't bring a doll. Division captains keep the standings right. Whenever I write down a rule like that, it just means one person screwed it up one time. It's kind of like John's Q&A when he talks for like 14 minutes on one thing, and it's like, who asked that? It's just like an email he got.
How would you know? You weren't even there.
You did. It wasn't on the agenda. Yeah, was it on the agenda? Yeah. Wasn't on the agenda I got.
It wasn't on the part you read.
That's right.
We sent it to you priority mail.
That was good.
Sign the receipt for it.
All right, well, 3-joke maximum. So, when you are playing an opponent, roll for home, okay? If it's a 2-game set, game 1, game 2. But in the single games, obviously, whoever wins the roll gets to be home. Where this gets important is the playoffs. We're not doing, hey, my record was this, and, well, my strength of schedule was this. No, it's just roll the dice and then play the game, all right? Have fun. That's not really part of it. Turn the score sheets in, we covered. Did I miss any other rules that anybody can think of?
Just to clarify the rolling the dice for home. So if you have a 2-game series, you roll the dice to who's home first, and then it switches out.
I think you can choose. If you win the dice roll, you can defer, basically. I'll take the first or second game,
But
whichever you
then
want.
you switch.
Yes, you always switch.
You don't
yes.
roll again.
Sorry, correct. If you are playing a 2-game set, 1 game is, you're home for 1, you're on the road for the other. Go ahead.
Historically, when you bring a picture in the middle of the inning, you see it the same hand.
Yes.
Same hand, the elevated grade, if they're different hands,
Yes.
no elevation of grade.
We do that, yeah. We do that, so what he's saying is when you insert a pitcher in the middle of an inning, if it's the same hand as the batter, yeah, they go up, well, I should make sure I said that right.
Yeah, you did.
They go up 1 letter grade for that 1 batter. Also, we do grade advancement. So if a D throws 5 shutout innings, they become a C. 6 for a C becomes a B. 7 for a B becomes an A. And if they give up a run after upgrading, they still stay at that grade. We also do the 5 earned runs within 3 innings is a downgrade. Okay. Any other rules that I missed? We do advanced fielding. That's right. We do the advanced fielding rules. That's a lot to explain. So, if somebody at the table knows, go ahead, Eric.
We do the 3 batter, the new 3 batter rule for pitchers.
I don't think so.
No.
No. For the relievers, no. There's no 3 batter rule. We do ignore injuries, rainouts, and ejections. We ignore those.
Yeah.
Anything else? Go ahead, Bill.
Okay, you have a card with 66-0
Yep.
and an 11-6, and it comes up.
It's a double. Good question. The runner on third result says if you get a 6, if it's a single column, it is a home run. Double column is a double, or it says like C number 5 or whatever it says. If your card has 2 columns, it is a double. If a card has 1 column, it is a home run. It doesn't matter if the 6 is in the first column of a double column card. 6 in the first column of a double column card is a double, not a home run. With that rare, that'll happen though. So
Brian?
yes,
I know we ignore injuries,
yes.
but you do use the play that
Yes,
that causes
sorry.
the injury.
Yeah, so if it says grounder to second, the second base shortstop collide, they're injured, doesn't matter, the out still is recorded. The result is the same, you just ignore anything that would interrupt the flow of the rosters of the game itself. Anything else? I covered that. Defense. Equipment, I think is worth mentioning. John, you provide dice shakers, books, all that?
Yes, but please return the books, because those are all we have. Our warehouse is empty, and it'll be 2 weeks before we get more.
I don't know if everybody heard that, but if you borrow a book, a result book, please return it before you leave. I messed that up once. Go ahead, Dick. Oh, you raised your hand.
I was
Sorry.
agreeing with what you just said. Nodding.
You've probably been doing that the whole time. I just haven't noticed. I apologize. I believe that's it. And so I usually end by saying, just to keep in mind that you are not at home. You are not at home. Things are not always going to go your way. That's okay. All right? Not everybody can win. Only one person can win.
That's you.
That's right.
Oh, we have that out of the way.
No, that's done.